Hey everyone, long time no see. We're back in the garage now, and I thought I'd show you a few things I've done with the car which relate to the rear radiator. I spent a bit of time over the last few weeks getting it sorted out. My mate Dan Pryor helped fabricate it, so I'm just going to show you a few things with what we did. So there's two main reasons why I've gone with the rear radiator. The first one is because the car is just getting so hot. There's no room up the front there to fit any kind of decent fan. I had some little thermo fans up there and they just didn't really do the job. When I fit the bigger Falcon thermos up the front, they got so close to the engine that any little impact in the front of the car, the pulleys would hit the fans would hit the radiator and it would puncture it. And I had that happen a few times. I've already gone through 4 radiators because everything's so close and there's just no room in there. The second reason is because this car, with so much weight in the front of it, is out of balance. The back of the car is just tube work. There's no floor pan, there's no steel back here. It's just a few bars to support the taillights and to strengthen the back up. So putting it on the scales, it was pretty heavily weighted to the front. So I don't have a lot of traction in the rear. When I'm drifting, there's not a lot of inertia from the rear. So I just don't get the grip, I don't get the drive. So if I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and have better cooling and better traction, that's the main reason. So this is how it looks on the car. It doesn't stick up too far from the back, but this is the best spot that we could get it in. First I had to work out where it'd fit and try and find a spot for it. And there's heaps of bar work at the back of this car, so it's hard to fit anything back here, but this is where we decided to put it. We ended up reusing the perspex. We just sort of cut a slit out of it so that we could angle it down as a bit of ducting. The radiator is very secure in here, it's not going anywhere. And I've ended up going with a radium expansion tank. So basically all the steam, all the bubbles comes to the top of this triple pass radiator. I know it's triple pass because it's got this divider here and also a divider down the bottom. So any air trapped in the top will come through there, the expansion tank, and then everything else drops down back into the water system. So I've gone for dash 16 hoses the whole way, braided hose. There's one there and then one, probably can't see it, down there. And I had to go under the car because there's no room anywhere else. You can see the hoses come down and under the car. So I might need to work out maybe a way to protect those. At the moment they're just zip tied up. There's a few clamps under the car. The fuel lines go down there as well, so everything has to be sort of protected from any ripple strips. It's well clear of the ground, but it's mostly if I just jump any ripple strips or any big rocks go under it, I don't want it to get punctured. Now I'll zip down to the front here, so don't mind the wiring for the moment. I've got a few things to sort out. That was mostly just testing. So we modified the top pipe. So the dash 16 line goes all the way around the engine, down to the back. I ended up putting the water pump at the front of the car, down there. It's still the lowest point of the system, but it was a bit difficult to bleed. And the other line you can see goes down, whoops, goes down and around the front. And of course that's the accumulator right here at the front. So now I've got a lot of room at the front to work on the car. The intercooler now has its own passage for the air to come through, which is nice, nothing's stopping it. And eventually I'll probably vent out the bonnet for the intercooler. Now you might think that it's not the best angle at the back here. Let's get this down. It's almost at a 45-degree angle to the roof, and what I'm hoping is that the air will follow this path down of the roof and at least flow through it. And it'll happen for 2 reasons. One is because it'll hopefully, I'm not a professional at fluid dynamics, but the air should stay attached to the surface. There's no big drop off here, so it should stay relatively close to the surface. And then also because behind the radiator, there's no restriction at all. There's no engine behind it to stop the air from flowing through. It's completely open. I've got the big Falcon thermo fans on it. So there's only cool air going in and there's only room for the air to go through. So no restriction, cool air. It just flows through quite easily. And you sort of imagine like a burnout car might work. If I can keep this car cool in one spot with the fans pulling the air through there, then I should be able to keep it cool while I'm drifting with a bit of added extra flow. But I don't need the airflow if I've already got good cooling from the fans. So that's the main reason. Cost-wise, it's a lot more expensive to do than at the front. Like obviously at the front it was already done. All I needed was a radiator and some rubber hoses. To put it at the back, it's the same radiator that I used before, the same S15 radiator, but now I've got 10 meters of braided hose, 4 massive fittings, the expansion tank, and any fabrication that you need to get done. Luckily I've got really good friends who can fabricate, and once I worked out the design for it, they were able to put it into action and make up these plates on the side here. You can see over there, the plate there, just aluminium that's been folded up. So pretty easy for them, not for me. But if you had to pay someone to do that, again, then there's more costs to be had. But with these cars, we're always looking to upgrade things, and I'm hoping that this upgrade is one that will last for a while and really prove that it's efficient. And when I do passenger rides and the events where I do lap after lap after lap after lap with no cooling down, I'm hoping that it'll perform awesomely and I won't need to touch it ever again. It'll just work. So the next main job for me now is to pull everything back out again, even though it's all in there because nothing's painted. All the welds are fresh. So we'll pull it out, double check everything, make sure it's all sealed up, all the welds are sealed up, and then do some final checks, a bit of final wiring, and then wait for the next event and really test it out next time and get some really hard laps in to make sure that it works properly. Until then, I'll see you next time.